Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Pray everybody brought the New Year in safe. We're almost 30 days in. I just wanted to get on here and say a few things, something to make you think sometimes. Things that I think about. This new year, I pray that we work on helping young people. The older supposed to help the younger and influence and, teach. We're supposed to be getting into a zone of being an elder. And it really doesn't matter what age you are when you are older than someone else. You're supposed to teach. We're supposed to give, and not give of financial or materialistic things, but more giving of the self. And that's your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding. As you get older, you're supposed to inherit more and more of that, and not retain it just for yourself. You should be trying to leave all of it on the table. Leave it all for the next generation to pick up. I hope that we can work with more generation more youth of this generation, just because it's needed. It's so badly needed. So many young people are seeking, and it's all ages now. We're seeking gratification. We're seeking peace and some substance from other places besides seeking it from inside, looking for it from within. And a lot of times that's settling them issues that you may deal with, them fears and insecurities that you have from growing up, from different situations you may have been in. And that's something I really want to start working more on, is working with the young people to figure out easier ways to deal with the stress of growing up. I don't think that we look at how hard it is for this generation, this day and age, with all the technology, with all the social media. You can bully somebody from texting, from social media. You can shame people. You can pick on. Same thing as bullying. All from the fingertips. And it's so sad that this generation truly don't have that tough layer of skin that a lot of people of my age and my generation grew up with. Our parents told you, the old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. This generation doesn't look at it that way. And this generation is really to the point of so afraid that they're killing one another. They'll get into an argument or a disagreement, and and I don't promote fighting, but that's what we had. That's what you did. You fought, right or wrong. Y'all got into a fight, and you went home. Nowadays, you get into a disagreement online, and sometimes it goes to the extent of the kid pulling up at your house and killing you, shooting you, seeing you out somewhere and shooting you. It has gotten so bad that our kids are afraid at times. I had one of my boys get threatened about a year ago, and the kid said, I'm gonna kill you. My kid is not that type of child. He's not that violent, wanting to fight type of kid. So I immediately had to step in, because that's not something to tolerate. we don't know, these kids doesn't understand how detrimental that is when you say, I'm going to kill you. Because video games that they play, that's shooting, killing, and they pick up the video game tomorrow and it's the same thing. I did a study on that when I was in school, that how detrimental these video games to the young people's realistic mind. Your mind are looking at it as a game. So when you pick up a gun and go and shoot somebody, you're not looking at how, like, this is final. You're not looking at the position that you're going to be in after the fact as well. Your life is ruined too. You're going to jail. Not that many people get away with murder or shooting people and don't go to jail and don't have to recalibrate their lives. And I want to start working with young people to teach them, life is too short to be fighting and being so angry. Life is too short to lose your freedom in your life or to take someone else's life. We're not teaching our kids how to live. And most of the time it's because the parents are so caught up with their own issues that the child gets lost. And the child gets lost with all of our mess. So it really takes us working on ourselves so we can help them. And that's what I do all the time. I've been always seeking, as I've gotten older, always seeking ways to improve myself, how to better my situation, how to work on my stress, how to work on, I think everybody have a touch of anxiety, insecurities, depression to certain degrees, but how do you deal with it? And understanding that drugs and alcohol doesn't solve it. You may think that it soothes the pain for the moment, but majority of the time it doesn't. It makes it worse. So learning healthier ways to deal with your stress, your anxiety, your thoughts. And I'm a big promoter of meditation. Meditation helps gravitate you into a place of peace. It gives you that silent time for your mind to rest and not think of all the things that pop into your head. Understanding, and it also gives you that time, even if you're not meditating on spiritual things, it's still that time of connecting to God and connecting to that place where we come from, that core place inside of us that we were born with. That's that place of peace. That's that place of comfort. And we get so stagnated and get so confused with all the things that we deal with that it doesn't help us grow. It doesn't help us get through a lot of things. So we end up neglecting our children, and not necessarily neglecting them in the way. I got a little sidetracked, but understanding that place inside of us is where God intended us to go back to when we're having trouble, when we're having problems, when we're so bothered by the outside world. Learning how to get back to that place. We're so consumed with the outside world. We don't supposed to be consumed with the outside world. We're supposed to be in the world, but not of the world. And we have gotten to a place that we have become of the world. Everything that we do has been taught to us. We don't even attempt to try to do things differently when we get into a habit of negative behavior. We just say, that's just me, or how I am, or God knows my heart. And truly, if God knew your heart, he wouldn't be pleased with your actions. So learning how to improve and learning how to enhance our behavior in our family, because whatever you do, it gravitates down to your children. And sadly, when we look at it, the behavior of your child stems from the behavior of the parent a lot of times. Maybe not now, but it could be from where you come from, being as your childhood or coming up or your teenage years, or that time in your life where you were so disobedient and so frustrated to the point where you didn't have that calm setting or that peace where you knew how to react or behave the situation, so you acted erratically. So giving that child that understanding of how hard it is for them to grow up this day and age, how hard it is for them to go to school. Some kids are into sports. How it's so hard for them to be into sports. That's why a lot of kids, that social world needs to be extracted from them at times. They need to take a break from it. They need to dilute. And we as adults need to do that. And it has gotten to a place where we are so consumed with everything of the world, everything of this world, that we're lost in the reality of who we are. And that's when you get depressed. That's when you become stressed out. That's when your anxiety is at its highest form, because we're so consumed with everything around us, because we're in a competitive mode. Everything we do, we're competing. We're trying to be this, and we want that. We see someone with this, we want that. We see that, we want this. It's never a time where we're content and satisfied with who we are and where we are. Always remember, you're in a good place. You're alive. Are we giving thanks for the air being pure enough for us to breathe, having water to drink? Are we thankful that we're healthy? And even if you're going through some things, are you thankful that you're still alive to deal with them? Not allowing what you're going through to dictate how you behave. Your circumstance should never influence your behavior, negative behavior, or treating and mistreating others. And that's something that we have lost. We are teaching this generation how it's the selfishness, and that's because we have been selfish. We behave in selfish manners. So then when they do it, we're so frustrated with them because we can see it. But a lot of times we're not looking in the mirror. We're not looking at ourselves and seeing the fact that we are so selfish in ways, because we won't help no one else. We won't give advice without expecting something from it. Everything that we do, we expect something in return, and that's not how life should be. So I'm going to say thank you for listening. That's just a touch on what I wanted to do. Talk to you later. Peace.